Hi guys, Mr. Colella here. Just want to give you a quick recap on how to go ahead and combine like terms. Let's take a look. Quick reminder first that we have different kinds of terms. So if you look here, we have constant terms, and those are basically any number. It does not matter what it is. Doesn't matter if it's negative, positive, single digit, double digit, triple digit. If it's a number, it's a constant term. We also have variable terms. Now a variable term is any variable or coefficient variable pair. Now, if that's unclear, what we mean by that is we don't care if it is, say, y or if it is 8y. You know, if it's y, that's just a single variable. If it's 8y, that's a coefficient and variable together. It doesn't matter if that's the case. Those are both considered variable terms. Lastly, I just want to quickly remind you guys that terms are separated by plus and minus signs. So let's see what that looks like. So here is an expression. This is actually four terms. We have here terms of 3x plus 7 minus y and plus 9x. So we have a plus sign, a minus sign, and a plus sign that's separating all of those. We always want to keep that plus or minus sign with the term itself. Now you may be noticing that the first term does not have one of those. That is because it is the first term and it's positive. Anytime it's positive, you should know we just don't write that sign. So you can think of that as plus 3x if you want. So our terms here are plus 3x, plus 7, minus y, and plus 9x. Let's get ahead and go to actually combining some stuff. So let's take a look at an example. We have here negative 2c plus 3c minus 5 minus 4c plus 7. So all we're going to do is I like to just draw shapes around the terms to kind of help separate them into things that go together. So I'm just going to put a circle around everything that has a c, because all these terms that have a c, I want to combine them. So I'm just going to go ahead and combine those. So I'm going to say negative 2c, and if I add 3c to it, negative 2 plus 3 is 1. So now I'm at 1c. And then if I subtract 4c, the 1 that I'm at minus 4 gets me to negative 3. So I'm going to end up finishing at negative 3c. Now I'm obviously not done because I still have that minus 5 right here and the plus 7. Those are constant terms. I have to do those separately. So I'm going to go ahead, I'll put a box instead of a circle around those, because those two things go together. I'm going to go ahead and combine those. Minus 5 plus 7, that turns into plus 2. So this whole long expression to start with turns into this nice short negative 3c plus 2. Let's look at another one. This one's a little bit different because you'll notice I have both a's and b's as well as constants in this one. Now, quick reminder, a's can only go with a's and b's can only go with b's. So when I look at this, if I want to start out with, say, these a's, 4a, I can only put that together with this minus 3a. Okay, the a and the b cannot go together in this case. So I'm going to just say, hey, 4a minus 3a, that leaves me with 1a. Now remember, 1a, we don't need to write that 1, so you can just write a. I'm then going to go ahead and I'm going to combine the b's. So minus 5b gets combined with plus 2b. Minus 5 and plus 2 turn into minus 3. So I'm going to have minus 3b. Now you'll notice I still have this minus 6. I've used a circle and a rectangle, so I'll put a triangle around this. I like the shapes again just to kind of signify the different kind of terms we have and make sure that the ones that go together have the same shape. There's nothing to combine that minus 6 with. There's no other constants. So I'll just finish this off with it staying as minus 6. So this whole long 4a minus 5b minus 6 plus 2b minus 3a turns into a minus 3b minus 6. And that's it. Now we have a couple of other things that might happen as we look at these examples. So let's take a quick look at some kind of different things that might occur. So sometimes we're going to have distributive property in there to deal with. When that happens, remember that you're only distributing the stuff in the parentheses, so only this part of it. So we're simply going to say 4 times x is 4x, 4 times 3 is 12, and then this minus x over here doesn't just disappear, but it also does not get distributed. So I'm just going to tack on that minus x at the end. Once I've done that, my parentheses are gone, and I can go ahead and combine anything else that is alike. So in that case, I have 4x and minus x. 4x minus x is 3x. So this ultimately turns into 3x plus 12. So sometimes you have distributive property. Don't let that throw you off. Just go ahead and distribute. And after you distribute, combine any like terms that are remaining. Now, sometimes we have the distributive property more towards the end of the expression. And in this case, I also gave you one where, if you notice, there is no number to multiply here for the distributive property. In those cases, remember, we simply put a 1 outside the parentheses and we distribute that 1. So the beginning of this will stay the same, 3y plus 9, because that is not part of what I'm distributing. But then I will simply say 1 times 4y is 4y, and 1 times 2 is minus 2. Remember to pay attention to those signs of whether you have a negative or positive 1. And let's look at an example of when we have a negative 1 and how that affects things. Sometimes we have minus before what we need to distribute. And again, we're going to put a 1 there, but now this is a minus 1. So when I go ahead and do this one out, the 5w plus 6 stays the same. But when I distribute this 1, it's negative 1 times 3w, which is negative 3w. And then I have negative 1 times positive or plus 4. Negative times positive is a negative, so remember this turns into minus 4. Anytime this is a negative 1 out here, make sure you're being very careful. Notice that the signs are changing. I went from a positive 3w to a minus 3w, and a positive 4 to a minus 4. Once those are done, you're going to go ahead and combine the like terms. So 5w minus 3w is 2w, and then plus 6 minus 4 is plus 2. So anytime you see those parentheses, go ahead and distribute. Get rid of the parentheses with the distributive property, and then go ahead and combine. I hope this helps. I hope this comes back to you. Good luck combining like terms.